What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pit. I know. Where'd his beard go? Let's just say I had a shaving incident. Anytime you're doing maintenance on your trimmer, do it right. Make sure you line your track up. That's okay. 3 or 4 months, I'll be back in business, baby. You just have to take your advice from a 14-year-old. That's all I can tell you. But onward. All right. The subject of this video is going to be on negative people with negative advice, who push negative narratives, that try to set people's goals way too high, and then scrutinize other people. I gotta pop up, let me get that out of the way. And then scrutinize people when they can't meet those goals. Okay, we have a special word for those in the weightlifting industry. We call those are what we call assholes. Okay. And what we try to do with assholes are tell them, get the hell away from me, okay? You're gonna mess up my vibe. I don't need your negativity. You can take that shit somewhere else. That's how we handle that, all right? At least where I come from, at least in the circle I run with, because we don't have time for any of that mess, okay? I'm gonna touch on something real quick, then I'm gonna get back on track. Little things like pop-ups, and if I'm stepping on something here or there, whatever, little organic moments, as I like to call them. I usually don't like to edit out stuff like that. I don't like to do a bunch of retakes. I think it takes away from the beautiful warmth of the video. You know, it takes away from the give and take from me to you, you know. It's just, not to use the word too many times, but it's just not organic to me. And I don't like buzzwords, but that's a pretty solid word. It's not natural, you know, and I like natural. I like talking to you guys like I'm talking to a friend. I've said that before, and I'm probably gonna keep saying it. That's what keeps me comfortable, you know. I don't bullshit you. When you leave me comments, I don't expect a bunch of bullshit from that, you know. Just good, straightforward talk. I don't church things up. I don't sugarcoat it, and I don't expect you to either. All right? That way, we can build a foundation together on this channel based on truths, you know, and a trust. Okay? Now, let me get back on track. Now, these negative people, let me tell you what brought this on. A conversation I was having with somebody about some advice that was given to somebody starting out. Okay, and this person that was starting out was out of shape. They weren't very strong. They were fat. Oh my God, he used the word fat. He didn't say heavy set or heavy or overweight. No, I didn't. You'll notice that I didn't. I mean, if you're fat, you're fat. If you're skinny, you're skinny. Just, you know, I'm not going to do all that mess. Okay, if that's too much for you, this probably ain't the channel for you, okay? I don't like having to watch what I say all the time, okay? In hopes that I don't offend somebody. You know, if you are what you are, and the sooner you figure that out, you can figure out whether you're happy with it or not, and the sooner you can change it. But if you sugarcoat things too much, it's gonna taste too sweet, and you're just not gonna change it, okay? So the advice that was given to this cat by me was, look, start small, take 2 or 3, 4 bites less on your plate, 5 bites, fix your normal plate, don't fix more because you know you're not gonna eat as much on this plate, just fix the normal plate like you want it, and take 5 or 6 bites and just rake it to the side and don't eat it. Don't think about it, just don't eat it, okay? Or fix your plate, and while you're standing there, after you fixed your plate, if you're at home, don't do this at a restaurant, they frown on it, or a buffet. Take 5 or 6 scoops and put it back where you got it. Don't even think about it anymore, then go clean your plate. All right? You just need to start cutting calories back a little bit, okay? That's called investing in your health, okay? A little more advice I got. I said, do you walk any? No, they don't walk any. Well, obviously they don't walk any, all right? But I wanted to ask to be polite, all right? Get out, Do you have a sidewalk in front of your house? Is there a quiet road you can walk on? Well, sure. That's perfect. Get out, walk down the road. Get out and walk down the road, walk 300, 400 feet, 500 feet, until you have to take a deep breath. All right, and then when you can do that, when you start feeling a little winded, turn around, walk back to your house. You've done good today. You've done good today, okay? You do little things like that all the time, okay? Then tomorrow, walk out there and you'll remember where you stopped and where you started. Keep going. Go a little bit further. A little bit every day, okay? This other person, obviously we didn't have this conversation in front of the person we're talking about. It was in private. No, man, that's bad advice. You need to teach them how to count calories. You need to do this. You need to get this program started for them. You need to have them on a regimen where they're walking a mile every day and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm like, listen. And they were kind of shitty about it. And I was like, listen, and I'm not trying to be ugly, but you don't really know what the hell you're talking about. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're gonna discourage this person so badly. If they were able to do all that, all these things you're talking about, that may look exciting, and that may be what they tell you to do in whatever, training school or coaching school or whatever, but that's not reality for this person. You got to know your audience. You got to know who the hell you're talking to. Now does this guy we're talking about look like he's gonna get out and start out running a mile or walking a mile, or he's gonna start counting his calories? No, he's a couch potato. But you don't tell him that. I don't sugarcoat things, but I'm not into cruelty either. That's ridiculous. Truth without compassion is brutality. All right? So I told this person, I said, look, you got to start them out in small steps. If you set the bar too high, they'll never reach it. They'll get discouraged, and then they'll walk away, and they'll give up, and they'll feel twice as bad as they did before, probably get into more depression, probably eat more, probably get fatter, and it'll just be a damn cycle over and over. And this other person, I just couldn't, no, that's not how you do it. You do it like this. Of course, this person was always naturally lean and, you know what I mean, good looking, lean, just never had to work for any of it. It all came, you know what I mean? Most of the trainers you see are kind of going to be that way. Kind of like people who are predominantly naturally great at basketball, tend to drift towards basketball. Well, people who are naturally gifted when it comes to looking in shape, nice cut, deep muscles, low body fat, they tend towards the health industry. Okay? They do. And they should. They should. You should use what you got. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't pooping on that. I'm just saying you got to know who you're talking to. Whether it's a trainer or whether it's a buddy you're trying to help out or a client, you got to know who you're talking to. All right? The attitude that this person has is a negative attitude. It doesn't seem to be. It's a negative attitude disguised as a positive attitude. Okay? All that's going to create is a negative for this person. Your positive attitude is going to, in turn, create a negative attitude for this person over here because they're not going to be able to accomplish it. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope I explained that correctly. These people over here can't, have you heard the terminology, you can't see the forest for the trees? Well, these people can't see a tree for the forest. They've got this big, elaborate picture, and wow, it's going to be this way, and it's going to be great. They're small-minded. Sorry. They can't slow down, stop, look, narrow their vision, take some nuance out of the subject that they're thinking about and examine that. They can't look at one tree and examine it and with any precision tell you about that particular tree. You know what that particular tree is? That's the first step. You start walking in the forest, you got to walk around that tree. All right, you got it out of the way. What about the next tree? What about the next tree? Pretty soon you've made it through the forest. I like how I intertwine that whole analogy. But anyway, that's the thing. You got to start these folks small. Don't start them out with these big ladder rungs. They'll never make it, okay? And don't be an asshole about it. Just because you're fit and in shape, you know, you don't got to be a jerk to people. Everybody's got their own things they're working with. You know what I mean? Don't discourage them. All right, if you sat through this long video, I appreciate it, okay? And I try not to get too preachy. I appreciate you tuning in. Leave your comments, and look, leave your comments, okay? I don't care if it's just a thumbs up or whatever. Look, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, tell me, seriously. I'd like to hear it. I need to hear it, you know? If what I'm doing is crap and the content that I'm giving you guys is crap, well, I want to know about it, right? I don't want to be that little ugly kid walking around town that everybody's like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. And then their mom and daddy just takes them everywhere in the world showing them off. That's pitiful. I don't want to be the little ugly kid. So let me know. If you got any suggestions, let me know. Subscribe, ding the bell, baby. All right? And oh, by the way, if you see something hard out there, see something that you might think's a little difficult, don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to get into the pit.